Hey bro fans, this is Todd. So, we're going to go ahead and cover the new ShadowWeaver that came with Masterverse. And this ShadowWeaver looks pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about opening her. But before we do, let's take a look at the history of ShadowWeavers from the past. So, one of the ShadowWeavers we got from the past was this cool Classics one right here. And this Classics one was pretty cool in that you could only get it if you were to buy the whole bunch of figures for the whole year. And then she was the special edition figure that came with the collector's whole entire year-long buying of figures. Then you get her as well. Now, because she could only be bought as a special exclusive figure, her price skyrocketed on the secondary market. I remember sometimes I'd see her price as high as $350 for this one figure, which is outrageous and crazy. But she is a very cool figure. She came with her staff here. She came with her little book as well, which here it is. And then she came with this clear plastic stand to make it look like she's floating if you want to click that on there. I personally don't like using it because it makes her just a little bit too tall. So she's floating above the other characters just a little bit too much. But she is a really cool figure, and I really like the way they produced her. And she's pretty cool, like I've said like 20 times now. Now, Super 7 has given us two more ShadowWeavers. We have their classic style ShadowWeaver, which is based, I believe, on the Filmation. And this is also a really good figure. I actually prefer some aspects to this figure to the one we got with Classics. Now, again, because it's Filmation, she has the green hands. They put the black paint on the inside of the cuffs, which is a nice touch. And the face does not have a nose. It's much smoother for the Super 7. Now, there is no bend right here in the middle. As you can see with the Classics, we had that bend right there, which kind of ruins the sculpt. And even though it'd be nice to have able to sit down, the way they designed this, you can see her legs coming over and crossing in front and back. And it's just a really cool pose. And they did a great job on this figure here. And again, she has a removable stand, similar to the one that we got with Classics Mattel. And her cape on the back is rubber. And the crazy part is, this figure's still for sale at the standard price. I think it's like $45 or $55 or something like that. They still have her on Big Bad Toy Store. I'll put a link in the description so you guys can find this. And it's just crazy to think this figure didn't even sell out, when this figure was going for so much and sold out and nobody could find her. So crazy, crazy. Now again, this is for classic size. And then Super 7 gave us the 5.5 version of ShadowWeaver. Now, I've always wanted one of these, and I kind of wish they would have used the same figure also to create a Marlena for the line. Now you can see the sculpt is very similar. They have the leg going across in front here again, and there's a lot of similarities to this figure and their large version of it as well. The arms only go up and down, not sideways. The prototype figure shows a shoulder joint here like Classics has, but this figure does not have that. I kind of hope they make this in Classics. It'd be a cool figure. Now this figure did sell out fast, and she is very expensive on the secondary market, even though she is the 5.5 version. It's funny, I actually ended up buying a second one because someone kept telling me that the shoulders were different, and so I went and bought a second one, and sure enough the shoulders were the same. They were not different at all, but very cool for 5.5. She even has a punch feature that the old figures had from the line in the past. So this is a great figure to add to your old figures, your vintage figures, if you can ever get a hold of one of these. Very cool. All right, so now that we've talked about all of the other ShadowWeavers of the past, it is time to talk about... Oops, I'll just move that out of the way now. Oh, now you can see my Castle Grayskull. There we go. It is time to talk about the new Masterverse figure. So here's the Masterverse figure. I'll turn that light back on once we get her out of the box so it's not shining so much. And she looks very close to our Super 7 one. In fact, there's a lot of similarities between the Super 7 one and the one we got here with Masterverse. We'll open her up and we'll check it out and see how much difference there are. I like that they gave her the green arms as well. So let's have some fun at this. Here's the back of the box. And it says ShadowWeaver, evil mistress of dark magic. Once an apprentice to Etheria's great wizard, what is that? Norwin, the power-hungry Beatrix, betrayed her homeworld to the evil Horde and renamed herself ShadowWeaver. With the combination of Horde science and her own dark magic, she conjured fear in the hearts of all Etheria and trust in Hordak. Little does he know, however, she secretly plots to overthrow him and seize power for herself. Bum bum bum. And there's some really cool artwork of her. If I remember correctly, in the old storyline, her name used to be Light Spinner, but I'm not sure. They should have called her Dreamweaver. That'd have been cool. Not the evil version, but the heroic version, or the good version of her before she turned evil. But anyway, ShadowWeaver. And there's some other figures in the line. And let's go ahead and bust her out of here and see what she has to offer. What do you have to offer us, ShadowWeaver? Alright. Let's pull her out of here. So it looks like she too comes with a stand. It's a cloudy, smoky stand. I can turn this light on now that I got it open. So you can see this cloudy, smoky stand, and it's articulated to give her a little bit more, so she can lean forward and back or side to side, depending on how you rotate it inside of her. She has a cloth cape, which means they added tape, not the dreaded tape, Mattel. You know, I should probably go through and make sure all the figures that have tape on them are opened up within a year. Otherwise, this tape's going to cause some horrible residue on that cloth later on. So that is my goal. Is I got a bunch of figures over there. You can probably see. I'm not going to turn the camera. I've shown you guys before. Ooh! Almost did her in. Almost sliced her. The only thing that's disappointing, I only bought one of these. I wish I would have got more than one. I don't know what I was thinking while only buying one. More tape. More tape, Mattel. Stop with the tape. Stop in the name of tape before you ruin our capes. Anyway. Ugh. Well, it's supposed to be sewn like that. I thought maybe there was some kind of packaging. I was like, no, they ruined it. But that's supposed to be that way. It's where her sleeves probably could slide into her arms. Hooray, we got her free. I'm free! So let's go ahead and put her arms into this cape. Let's see if we're able to do it. There we go. There's one arm. There is the other arm. So these arms are pretty, or these capes pieces are pretty cool. So they do create that sleeve like we've seen with the other ones, and that's pretty cool with the folding cloth across the top. Let's see if we can get her arm back down since I've contorted it so much. There we go. Now, she does have this piece made of rubber, and it has an articulation point right there in the center. She has no feet, and so it does not articulate very much, though. It's surprising. I thought it would bend a whole lot more. So let's see. She does bend up higher. I can feel it. So I guess it does have kind of a fishtail movement to it because it's multiple pieces that bend inside there. All right, she turns up here at the top. That's pretty cool. So you can actually do some pretty cool movements with her too. You could kind of move her around and do just like one of those things you see outside blowing by the used cars. Woo! I mean, those tube guys, whatever they're called. Oh. Anyway, I'll stop messing around. Let's go ahead and continue articulation. She has shoulder movement, as you guys saw. She has a bicep cut underneath that sleeve there. And then she has double jointed elbows, which are nicely covered by the cape. And then she has her wrist movement. And then her head, of course, moves. And this is a separate piece connected there. So her head can move and that piece can stay in its spot. So that's cool. So there we go. There is the Shadow of Weaviness. Oop. Very cool figure. Let's go ahead and stick this in there. Hopefully I can remove it later. There we go. And you can see now that articulated piece, you could do all kinds of craziness. You could have her like she's trying to stop really quick. Whoop. Like she's flying really fast. She's trying to catch someone. Beep. So there's some fun things you can do with that articulated point down there on the bottom. And it's cool too, like I said, you can rotate it, and once you rotate it, now she can just turn sideways too, to really give you some crazy kind of poses in there. Like someone just shot her with a laser or something, or she just threw a frisbee, or whatever you want to pretend. So that extra articulation does add quite a bit to her. Alright, let's take a look at other things in the box. We got the standard ball wand. And this supposes goes in her hand. Just like so. Fit. Then we got a flame, which you could either put at the end of the ball, like she's, you know, flaming someone. Psh. Only if her wrist went up and down. That would be cool. Let me check her other hand. Oh, it's the left. That's the right. Nope. Still pretty cool. You could still have a lot of fun articulating her quite a bit. I wonder, does this... Nope, it's a little too loose for this one. Bummer. I'm sure it will not fit in her because her hole's really small. Jam on it. Yeah, you can put it in there, but now she's really tall because it doesn't go very far. And she's much heavier, so she falls over much easier. Alright, let's rate these. So, my favorite one, sorry, is Classics. It will always be Classics. I probably won't ever change that very often. The Super 7 one was a really cool release, and I was really happy with it. But I really like the cloth cape and the articulation of this one. So this one comes in a very close second to my Classics. But the Super 7 one's really cool. And like I said, the Super 7 one's still for sale if you guys wanted to pick that up. But really, there's no need to now that we have the Masterverse one. And one thing I don't like about Masterverse is the double jointed elbows, and you can't see them because the cape's covering it. So they've solved my double jointed elbows. And I like the fact that you can have fun with her articulation like a mermaid down here, because she could actually reach down and, you know, bop Orko on the head. You little troll. So that's pretty cool too. So which you really couldn't do too easily with the other versions of her. She can look up like she is looking at you while she's doing it. So there you go. There is the Masterverse one, super articulated, super duper pooper articulated, and I love all the extra articulation. It means if you wanted to do some stop motion stuff, very easy, very cool, or if you wanted just to pose her on your shelf, you got lots and lots of options, as opposed to her having just that one articulation piece. It just looks, when she could bop Orko on the head too, I guess. She has no flaming thing. Okay, I have to admit it, the Masterverse is even better than Classics. There it is. I said it. So let me reorder these. Number one, you know, I almost like the Super 7 one better than Classics too. So it's 1, 2, and the Classics actually came in last this time. Oh, it's killing me to say that. It's killing me. Anyway, that is all that I have for this video. Like and subscribe and tell your friends. Oh, yes, I'm not going to say like and subscribe, because you guys will get that from Darth Vader. So, anyway, thanks for watching, and until next time, good journey. Bye now.
If you found enjoyment, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Do it!